Everybody. I welcome you all for the series of lectures because these three lectures they are interlinked with each other. These are role of enzymes, host pathogen interaction, and nutrition in fungi. These lectures are very important to the point of view of Indian Forest Services exam, IAS, UGC because they are very important. They are not important for MSc students but to all. The basic knowledge of these topics is very much required and they are basically related to each other. So today I start the first lecture of these series. So please concentrate. Any problem revert back to me, right? And try to learn it before tomorrow lecture, right? Stay indoor, stay safe. I will be back in a moment. Stay on. Morning everybody. I welcome you all for today's lecture, that is the role of enzymes. I already told you I will take the series of lectures, that is the first role of enzymes, tomorrow host pathogen interaction, and then nutrition of fungi. These all are interlinked lectures and they're very important to the competitive points like Forest Services and IS. And see, they are both way. They are linked to each other by both way, right? Today I will first start the cellulitic enzymes. So before starting, I just want to tell you the structure of cell, right? See, it has first primary cell wall, which is composed of cellulose, pactinates, then middle cell wall, that is precisely of pactinates, and secondary cell wall, almost entirely of cellulose. So maximum content which is present here in cell wall is cellulose, right? So in order to explain it further, I want to tell you this. See this one. This is the first cellulose. It is present a little shade in the primary wall, but maximum percentage is in the secondary wall, right? Then after cellulose, I have hemicellulose. Hemicellulose is, see, both in primary and secondary, but in reverse direction. Here it is more. These cellulose are present and hemicellulose, they are act as interfibers to hold the cellulose, right? So then you see lignin. Lignin is present in all, but it is maximum in middle lamina, right? Then pactin. Pactin has approximately same as lignin, right? And it is maximum in the middle lamina, primary lamina, and then secondary. Then last is the protein, which is present in the primary wall. And depending upon them, we will study the enzymes, right? Now I will just tell you a story. We see treasure hunt, right? If we want to understand the story, the treasure hunt, here the thief is here. Who is thief? Fungus. Fungus is here, and here is the all food stored, which is treasure to a fungus, and fungus wants to enter, reach here, and these are the barriers. Think like a fungus, and fungus want to dissolve these barriers to reach here, but that is not an easy problem. Fungus is not like a human being that it brings cashew nut and all food with it and start digging the tunnel, and if you got hungry here, go back, or either take food here and then start. Fungus has a very limited storage. So what did fungus did? It's a very clever chap. Fungus start digging, and then we first start dissolving the cellulose, and cellulose, he broke that cellulose and hemicellulose and lignins to the ultimate product to glucose. His food suppose starved here. Here he breaks the cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, pactin into glucose. Then eat that glucose, which is byproduct of these, and start digging again. When it is starved here again, then dissolve them, get the glucose, and then it will move here and ultimately reaches to its treasure hunt, right? So now I am coming to the first part, that is the cellulose. So what are the cellulose? Cellulose are, see the structure of cellulose, they are basically the aggregation of beta D glucopyranose, means glucose you will say, beta D glucopyranose, in which the carbon 1 is linked to the carbon 4. Cellular is the major constituent of cell wall of higher plants, and cellulose is very important, insoluble crystalline substance in its native form. See the cellulose structure, right? And these cellulose are insoluble polysaccharides. As I already told you, the major constituent of cell wall. Cellulose is a linear polymer consisting of 2000 to 20,000 glucose residues. That is, I already told you, beta D glucopyranose, which are linked together a beta 1,4 linkage. The strength of cell wall is derived from the layers of cellulose microfibrils that are extensively cross-linked with by the hemicellulose. I told you these hemicellulose, right? So this is the structure of cellulose. But here I want to tell you one more substance, that is callus. Callus differs from cellulose in that it has beta 1,3 linkage instead of 1,4. So now I am coming to this is the cellulose structure. You will see these are the beta D glucopyranose or glucose which are linked by means of a 1,4, 1 and 4. So this is structure beta D 1,4 linkage, right? So now I'm coming to the cellulolytic enzyme. Cellulolytic enzymes, cellulose I told you, explained you, that is insoluble polysaccharide, linear polymer, 2000 to 20,000 glucose residues linked by beta 1,4 linkages. The strength of cell wall is derived from the layers of cellulose microfibrils that are extensively cross-linked by hemicellulose polysaccharide chains. Now we are coming to the cellulose degrading enzymes, which are produced by fungi, bacteria, nematodes, and by parasitic higher plants. They cause the breakup of the wall barrier for entry, because I already explained you the treasure hunt story. They provide food in the form of glucose, explain you very well, from cellulose on hydrolysis. There are two groups of cellulolytic enzymes. First is C1 cellulose enzymes, which act upon the native cellulose and degrade it to the crystalline structure to form a reactive cellulose. See, we have the native cellulose, and this native cellulose, they are acted upon by the cellulase C1, which attack the native cellulose, cleaving the cross linkages, and it resulting in the formation of crystalline structure. This is also native cell, but it is also called reactive cellulose. This is modified without cross linkages, right? Now we are coming to the second, that is CX enzymes, or we are also called endogluconesis. These act upon the reactive cellulose and hydrolytically cleave to celluloids, right? See, this is the native cellulose, and here the C2 breaks the native cellulose, that is reactive cellulose, to modified cellulose into small shorter chains of the cellulose. And the shorter chains, they are acted by the CX, third group of celluloses, which degrade the shorter chains into the disaccharide cellobiose. Okay, cellobiose, right? This cellobiose, and these cellobiose, they are acted by the, either we can add A's, because we add A's to become enzyme, or beta glucosidase, right? So it will form a glucose, right? See, finally the enzyme cellobiose converts cellubiose into glucose units. The cellulolytic enzymes solubilize the cellulose into soluble glucose unit, which provide nourishment. Wood, this is very important. 1967 proposed a scheme of cellulolytic enzymes, which is now modified. I told you. This is the modified form, not Wood form. So Wood in 1960 suggested that conditions in the trachea favor the production of cellulosis by vascular pathogens. You know what are vascular wilt pathogens? Fusariums. These enzymes results in the formation of compounds of high molecular weight, very important. And these high molecular weight, they are basically clogged in the vessels, and which could delay the flow of sap, which result in the wilt. Example, Fusarium oxysporum form species Lycopersicii. Besides this, the Fusarium molniforme, Rhizoctonia solani produce both cellulolytic and pectic enzymes. Pectic I will do later on, but enzymes example stays at that time also. Then Sclerotia rolfi produce only cellulolytic enzymes and has capacity to cause soft rot. Because cellulose is gone, then the plant is soft, as well as the degradation of hardened tissues. Because cellulose, I already told you, with the cross-linked of hemicellulose form a hard tissue. Polyporous, very important. Versicolor, a wood-rotten fungi, produce a multiple component cellulose system. And the last example is germinating urodiniospores of Puccinia graminestratici, which cause the black stem rust of wheat, is also known to produce cellulase, right? So this we finishes the cellulolytic enzymes. They're very important. And now the next, I already told you, hemicellulose. Hemicellulose are the complex and heterogeneous polysaccharides present in spaces between the cellulose microfibrils of the cell wall. The enzymes responsible for the degradation of hemicellulose are called hemicellulases, AZ is added, occur in many saprophytic and parasitic microorganisms, including wood-rotting fungi, Sclerotinia sclerotium and Sclerotium rolfi. Means Sclerotinia sclerotium and Sclerotium rolfi. So these are the two species we have. So now the fungus has taken the two things. See, the fungus has taken the cellulose and fungus has taken the hemicellulose, and it convert into the glucose and taken the energy and start digging inside. Now the two which are in path of fungus to reaching the treasure hunt are the lignin and pectic substance. So now the fungus next target is the lignin, because lignin will cover all the three walls, primary, secondary and middle, right? So now I am coming to the next set of enzymes that are called lignolytic enzymes. So lignin decomposing enzymes are produced by wood rotting fungi. And now question arises, what is lignin? Lignin is a resistant material and found in middle lamina, which I explained you, the cell walls of xylem vessels and parenchyma fibers, right? So what is lignin? Now question is, the lignin is basically a polymer, amorphous and present in middle lamina, and this is structure. This is ring, and then CCC. This is a polymer form. And polymer of what? And this one unit is called phenyl propanide unit. And when these phenyl propanide units, they are attached again and again, it will form a lignin. 15 to 38% of woody tissue has lignin in it. It is second to the cellulose. Hence, the lignin is main obstacle in the path of fungus after cellulose. So what it did, the fungus uses an enzyme to degrade the lignin, and this is called enzyme trimethylase. So trimethylase, which removes the methyl group and modifies the lignin. So it removes the methyl groups and modifies the lignin, and so that they can further degrade it by same cellulotic enzymes. It modifies the lignin, that is remove the methyl groups and modifies into a structure which is basically acted upon by means of further degraded by cellulotic enzymes. Example is polyporous versicolor, which can destroy 97% of lignin in sweet comfort. So first the trimethylase modified it, and then the work is taken by the cellulotic enzyme. So this makes these cellulotic enzymes very important, right? Now after that is a structure which is cutin. Cutin, you know, it is a main component of cuticle. Chemically, it is a polymer of 1,4-beta N-acetyl glucosamine unit. We also call it NAG. Not much is known about cutin dissolving enzymes in plant pathogens. However, Hannin and Linskin, 1961, demonstrated two kinds of cutin dissolving enzymes. First is cutin esterase, right? So now what is cutin esterase? Basically, cutin esterase, it works like this, and this is the cutin, and it basically hydrolyzes the carboxyl and oxygen groups. See, R C double bond O O R C H C O. See, this changing into R C O H. This and this R C H O H and C O. This will come here, right? This how the cutin works, and that is cutin esterase. And the second is the carboxycutin peroxidase, and this causes the hydrolysis of peroxide group of chitin. So what will do carboxycutin? It catalyzes the hydrolysis of the peroxide group of chitin or cutin. So this cutin is first break by cutinase into the cutin monomers, which are a single molecule, and they enters the fungal pathogen. And this pathogen, which when they enters, it triggers the further expression of cutinase, and cutinase expression increases, then it breaks lot of cutin molecules, and this process goes on. Now question arises, if this process goes on, this will like completely finish the cell wall. So that is this process to be stopped. So in order to understand that, I will show you this one. See, the cutin is present here in outer cuticle layer, and when it is finished, it is unnecessary for fungal to get their process going on. And when it enters, it starts breaking the cellulose into the glucose, which is a source of energy to it. Now this glucose, when I teach you the nutrition of fungi, this glucose will repress this enzyme. Which enzyme? I will show you this one. See, this one. This is the carboxycutin peroxidase, and it is acting upon the peroxide group. See, this is peroxide group, and it will form OH here, and then CH2, and this will group H will form, and it will go above 1, and this downward it will also H will add, and here the acidic group change into the alcohol groups. This is how the carboxycutin peroxidase works. Now, as I already told you, what will happen? The cutin is broken by the cutinase, right? and into cutin monomers, and which enters the fungal pathogen, and it triggers the further expression of cutinase. This process is going on. But when the fungus enters inside, it breaks the cellulose and into the glucose. And this glucose, under the glucose effect, I already explained you when I take the nutrition in fungi. But here you understand, glucose has a repression effect on the other enzymes, that it suppresses the production of cutinase and stops this process. So see how clever the fungus is, right? So now we are coming to the last set of enzymes. These are called pectic enzymes. So pectic substances are exclusively present in middle lamina. The pectic substances includes pectic acid, second pectin, and third protopectin, right? There are two main groups of enzymes responsible for degradation of pectic substances. First is the pectin esterase. These pectin esterases we also call PE. It is also called pectin methyl esterases, PME, which hydrolyze and remove the methyl group. This is very important. And M will tell you it is methyl, right? From pectin to form pectinic acid. PME is also found in most of the higher plants and in microorganisms. The rate of change of pectic substances increased by the removal of, that is rate of just breaking cleavage by the removal of methoxy group. So now we are coming to the, this is we have pectic acid, which is basically a unit of glutaric acids, alpha D-glutaric acids, and how they are linked, right? See, this is the pectin esterase, and I already told you they are linked, and here they remove this methyl group. See, there is no need of doing that structure, but this structure should be done. Here the removal of methyl groups, and this becomes COH. And with the removal of this methyl group, right, it becomes more rate of cleavage of pectic substances, and the product formed is pectic acid. Just removal increase the rate of cleavage. The next is the polygalacturonesis. In case of polygalacturonesis, you will see what will happen. Same structure, right? Polygalacturonesis, which we also call PG, are chain splitting enzymes which catalyze the splitting of pectin chain, that is galacturonic acid units. I already told you it is made up of galacturonic acid units. This occur by hydrolytic mechanism, which we also call hydrolysis or lysis. The two mechanisms are going here, hydrolytic and lysis, right? See, HOH, this is hydrolysis. It breaks, and then lysis. HOH, H, but here lysis means break. No OH is formed, water is released, and it results in the, so though two processes are occurring, that is hydrolysis and lysis, which are by means of PG and pectin lysis. So when we come back again to this structure, now what will fungus gain? Cellulose gone, pectin gone, hemicellular gone, lignin gone, even cutin is gone. Now protein. Protein basically is gone by the least important enzymes, which are also called proteolytic enzymes, right? And these proteolytic enzymes, they are present in the fungus like Polyporus. They are present. They are present in Phytophthora also. So different type of these enzymes, right? So now I just move on to last part of it, that is the again the cellulose part. Before going to cellulose, I just to note this one, PG, which are chain splitting, which catalyze and splitting of pectin chain, which is a product of galacturonic acid units. This occur by hydrolytic mechanism and lysis. The diagram you can take it from the slide, right? So here when I doing the carboxycutin peroxidase, we have two example. One is Penicillium spinosum from rotting leaves, right? And then is the Ericephale graminis form species hordi. They produce the infection pag. What is the infection pag? And if this is spore, and when it enters to stomata, it will form first aprisporia and then the infection pag. And this is infection pag, tip of infection pag. Suppose this is tip, yeah, here. Produces cutin degrading enzymes, and this causes the powdery mildew. So this tip it has. So as soon as this tip touches here, these dissolves the cutin which is present outside of the cell wall, and the cutin which is dissolved by the cutinase enzyme, which is suppressed by the glucose produced by the dissolving of cellulose, and this glucose effect under it suppresses the production of cutinase. This how the whole structure moves. So now I move to the next tomorrow. Tomorrow I will start the host pathogen interaction, and finally I culminate with the nutrition of fungi. These topics are very important, I told you, right? So please do them, practice them, and practice the diagrams of all cellulose, pactic, pectinic, then pectin esterases or pectin methyl esterases, and ultimately the PG, right? So this I finishes and making you again that this particular cellulosic enzymes are very important, right? So take care, stay indoor, stay safe, bye bye.